Welcome back, guys. Welcome to another video. Today is a pretty exciting day because like I said in the last video, I'm waiting on some stuff for my headlights. This headlight is pretty good. You can see it's pretty much done, but this side is pretty toast. You can see all the condensation in there. This headlight actually 100% blew out on me the other day. Before, all the main OEM stuff like the bulbs and the blinkers and everything, those stopped working a long time ago, but the halos actually continued to work on me. That just shows how good Bavgruppe products are, but the halos continued to work on me for about a year, and then they finally decided to die on me. So that headlight still works 100%. This headlight doesn't work at all. So that brings us to what we're doing in today's video. Check these puppies out. Brand new OEM from BMW. These puppies are wild how like new they look. I mean, because they are new, but I've just never seen anyone's this clear. So we're going to be busting into these, ruining them basically. Going to be installing all these products from Bavgruppe. This is going to be a super in-depth on how to do this retrofit for anyone who wants to do it. So I'm going to get cracking into these headlights. First things first, I have to go ahead and heat everything up to get this glue nice and melty. On the back of the headlight, there's this little, I guess like breather tube. Under the breather tube, you see that little hole? There was a screw there. That screw holds the headlight on in that corner. That's the only screw that holds the headlight on. There's a screw up here too. It looks like it holds the headlight to the housing, but that's on the inside. So just that one screw you need to take out, and then the rest is all the glue and clips. Now once you have the headlight sufficiently heated, you want to go ahead and pull these tabs up a little bit and put a flathead in the headlight, right inside the top seam between the housing and the lens, and you just want to slowly begin to pry. You'll see it coming apart. Just slowly go around the edges. You don't want to go too much in one place without going enough in the other. So I got it probably like a third the way off. Now I just have to go around, reheat it again. Alrighty, lens is off. Went ahead and set that to the side. This is what the inside of your headlight looks like, or what it should look like. This is brand new, so yeah. The next that we have to start doing is disassembling the stock halos. You are going to be keeping this ring right here. This one's going to get hot glued right on top of that one. So we are going to be painting this ring black along with everything that's chrome. I mean, you could be doing any color you want. If you wanted to paint everything red, you got to make sure you paint this red as well. It just has to match this. Whatever you paint this has to match this. So like I said, we're just going to be taking all this apart, all the chrome and halo bits. There's a couple T20 Tyworkz bits. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9 of them in there. So just go ham, start taking all that stuff out. Don't go too crazy because some of this stuff is pretty delicate. Make sure that you go ahead and unclip these halos. They don't just pull straight out. While you're pulling them out, make sure you go ahead and unclip them. I believe there's one there, and the other one is right there. See how they cross? Okay, this is where your headlight should look as far as right now. Got everything laid out over here. These, I mean, I'm gonna throw these out. These are garbage. They come out in 2 pieces. They crisscross like that. This is what we're gonna be keeping. This goes behind this piece, like that. And then you have this main one. This is like your main high and low beam shroud. Next thing you're going to want to do is take this inner piece that looks like an eye. That actually comes off the back. We are not going to be painting this. The reason it is chrome in there is obviously to reflect the light bulb, to reflect that light bulb further. Next is we have to take this lens out. There's a lens on there, as you could see. So that comes out with a couple clips. And then go ahead and pop this halo off. I am going to paint them separately, but they're going to be getting done the same color. Alright, while the camera was off, I went ahead and took apart this, the driver's side headlight as well, just to, you know, make progress with things. I have everything laid out here. As you can see, this is everything for that headlight, this is everything for that headlight. Just a little layout so you guys know what I'm going to be painting. This shroud, this little piece, this ring, this shroud right here, and then we're also going to be painting this shroud right here. Why I have this reinstalled is because we need to bring this headlight over to the car and actually install the headlight as if, you know, we're done. And then that will tell us whether, you know, we need to bring this halo this way or this way, how straight the halo is. Basically, we want to make it perfectly parallel to the ground of the car, this bottom line. That'll give you the overall best look. A lot of people who do these on their own, you know, in the car, the halos kind of look like cocked up like that or cocked down like that. That's just because they didn't do a good enough job straightening them on the car, or they just went ahead and did everything on the bench without test fitting it. So another thing we're going to be doing is, before we paint these, we need to actually cut a hole in the bottom of this shroud. What that'll allow us to do is to recess this halo into the shroud a little bit, because if we don't do that, the lens will not completely close on top of the headlight. So I'm going to go over there, get the bumper taken off, and then we're going to go ahead and get this mocked up so we can see what we need to cut. Alright, so I ended up not taking the bumper off because, you know, my car's ghetto rig, so I'm able to just pry this back. I'm getting a new bumper, so I really could care less about it. So I pried this back, took the old headlights out, had to drill these holes just to get to those holes back there, but like I said, bumper's garbage, so it doesn't matter. Got these headlights in, obviously without the lenses. That's the way you want to do it. Then I went ahead and took the halo and just mocked it up and cocked it sort of where I wanted it. And I took a razor blade and made a mark. I also went ahead and took apart my old headlights because I needed the eyebrows out of them, since I'm going to be reusing those. And I also went ahead and took this out. This is basically the piece that we're going to be trying to make. I'm not going to reuse these because I ghetto rigged these. I cut a bunch of clips when I did them last time. But this mark right here is basically what we're going to be trying to get. But this mark right here is basically what we're going to be trying to do on the new one. I already got my mark set and the grinder out, so I'm going to go ahead and start cutting this to try and match it as similar as I can to this, because I pretty much could use this, but like I said, some clips are broken on it, so I'm going to just match it pretty much exactly. Probably help if I plugged it in. Well, I messed up. So I cut this one way too high. I didn't keep in mind that I have to actually keep the halo centered in the middle of the ring, so it's supposed to be about there. I have it up about a 1/4 inch too high. So I need to go ahead and grab my other extra that I have and just figure out a way to make it work. Okay, I'm back with the pieces that I need. I thought that I ghetto rigged them pretty bad, but actually they fit perfect. So there's no reason why I can't reuse these. They're already painted black, but just so everything matches, I'm gonna go ahead and scuff them up, repaint them along with all the other chrome things. I can pretty much take all these and prep them for paint. Also, like I said, I'm gonna paint these just so they match. So once everything's painted, I'll bring you back to show you guys the assembly process. Alright, we got about 2 coats of black on these pieces right here. These are all the pieces. I forgot to mention these little like triangle pieces. These came out of the lenses, the corner of the lenses. Don't forget to paint those. I mean, not don't forget. If you're not painting those, then you don't have to paint them. But if you're painting everything, don't forget that that is a piece that's especially seen. So you're going to want to get that painted. While those are drying, and I'm throwing a couple more coats on those, I have a couple things I could be doing over here. You probably could get away with using it, but you don't want to use the gasket, or not the gasket, the glue that came on the headlight. You want to scrape as much out as you can, and then go ahead and add some new stuff. I got some new stuff, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Also, while the paint is drying, and after I'm done doing that, these little corner pieces that go on those triangles, I think it would look pretty cool if I put some stripes on these. It doesn't sound good when I say it, but I've seen someone do it before where you'd put like stripes on these with some vinyl wrap or paint. I have vinyl wrap, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that also while that stuff's drying. And then by the time I do this, I'll have a couple more coats on here. Everything will be dry, and we'll be ready to throw everything together. All of our paint's dry now, and I went ahead like I said I was gonna do and scraped out all that glue from the edges of both headlights. And I also went ahead, as you saw, and did these. I think they came out awesome, exactly how I thought they were gonna come out. Or not a thought, but exactly how I pictured them coming out. And I think they're gonna look really cool inside the corners of the headlights. So, like I said, everything's dry, so we're gonna go ahead and start throwing everything together. There's nothing real crazy about throwing this together, so I'm just going to time lapse it. But for the stuff that I need to go in depth about, I'll tell you guys about. Alright, got this all together. Looks awesome, looks menacing, looks exactly how I want it to come out. I mean, I'm pretty used to it because I've been running them for the longest time. Really, the only reason I'm doing this is because that happened. That's my old headlights. So now we're going to take this, and this obviously goes here, roughly like that. And then the new halo rests like that. You guys can see what I was saying before, how the thickness of black of the shroud on this side is less than the thickness on this side. This is what you want it to look like. So if you're looking at it like this, it looks cockeyed, but if you're looking at it from straight on, it looks like straight how it's supposed to be. Another thing you have to do is you have to drill holes up here. See the 2 holes I drilled? 1, 2, 1, 2. What those are for is to hold the tops of these on, because you have to actually mount it to the shroud itself. So the bottom half, you're going to plastic weld. You could also hot glue it if you want, but I find plastic welding a lot stronger. And then the top, you're going to want to just drill a little hole in the top right there so you can zip tie it on either side. And then another thing to keep in mind is one of these you have to cut, because the way I'm doing it is I have an eyebrow. Inside my lens, I'm going to be putting these eyebrows that look like this. And those eyebrows come in like this. So one of those eyebrows actually interferes and touches this. So Bavgruppe says on their website you have to trim one of these down. So I have it done to one of these. This one. I have it done here, as you can see. Here's the old halo I had. Oh, it goes over here. but you can see the top trim down. You got to trim it down like that in order for it to fit, because the eyebrow just sits right in that gap right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and zip tie and plastic weld this halo to this, and then we'll move on to the next thing. Got this puppy plastic welded in there, and I also went ahead and zip tied the top too, as you can see. Now it's super in there. I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't break if I held it from the halo. That's how strong I made it. That's good, and hopefully you can especially see the gap difference on the side. You need that so that the lens can close. Now we can move on to this halo, which you can just either hot glue or 3M tape on there. I'm gonna just 3M tape it on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then see you guys in a minute. Dang, is that coming together? Just need the lens. I'm pretty much done. So like I said, I just 3M taped it on. I've got like one there. You can see it on the edge. There. So I got like 6 or 8 on here. Definitely want to put as much as you can, and make sure you heat the 3M tape up and the piece you're taping to. Get them nice and warm, because that's going to give you your best adhesion. But it's looking real good with the black on white. I'm going to get my lens, and I'm going to put the eyebrow in, and then we can start putting it together. Got the lens here on some cardboard with some plastic, just so we don't scratch it up. And the lens basically sits in there like this. Pretty self-explanatory. You can see it just like that, and that pretty much hides all the wires for the halos, and it gives it a cool, look. So in order to get this to stay up there, some people just throw some 3M tape and they call it a day. I'm actually going to use the strip of glue that everyone uses to seal the headlights up. I did that on my last one, and honestly, that's probably the only thing that I did right on that headlight, because it stayed together really well. This stuff's pretty easy to work with. You just want to make sure you don't get it on nothing that you don't want. Getting this glue residue all over. So I'm going to start in this corner. So you can see how this is coming along. I got it spread out. You don't want to spread it too thin, because you want the strength, but I got it spread out enough where so you can see where the eyebrow ends and how much I got it spread out. That'll hide as much light as possible from coming up here, and then you'll actually see that in between your panel gaps of your hood and fenders and stuff. So by doing this, it prevents that. So I just need to throw a little bit more in there, and the eyebrows in. Alright, finished product, as you can see. Eyebrow is in. Looks good. You got no glue seeping from the edges, but everything looks good. Now we can start throwing the lens together, all the pieces on the inside, and slap her together. Alright, we're ready to install everything. One thing I did off camera that I forgot to mention is it's going to be different for whatever brand you go with, but if you go with the Bavgruppe DTM style rings, you need to cut your I guess housing like this. This side isn't modified. This side is how the housing looks untouched. There's a bridge across these two. You basically just have to cut those off. Based on the rings you're going with, you just have to test fit and refit until you get the right cut. I already did that, so this is the cut I had to make. So yeah, like before, this used to be a roof right here. I went ahead and cut that out. You need to do that in order to make room for the points. Holy crap, guys. This is looking awesome. If you guys remember what this looked like at the beginning of the video, if you don't, go back and just look at the difference at how this came together. It's not done yet. I still have to trim that top, but other than that, once we trim that top, I can actually seal the headlight and then we're done. Basically what I'm looking for right now, as you can see, it's not sealed yet. We got a gap all the way around, pretty big gap. Not too big, but enough where we can't seal it. So this eyebrow right here, just this one, all the other ones clear, this halo is making contact with this eyebrow right here. So basically what I need to do is mark the inside of that. That's hard to do, but I'm basically just going to keep taking it on and off, on and off, on and off, and test trimming it and trimming it. Just keep doing that until we get it cut how we want. Remember, this is how we want it to look. We're going to cut it like that. And then I recommend putting some black paint on the top of that. I brush that on there just because if you cut this, you'll actually see like beams of light coming off of these, reflecting off each and every little jagged edge that you cut. So make sure you paint the top of that. That's important. Even though most of it is hidden up here, you will see it on some angles. So make sure you cut it right, cut it as clean as you can, and paint the top of it black, or I guess whatever color you guys are painting yours. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and then I'll be back when I'm ready to seal it up. Alright, finally done notching that one halo and painting it. As you can see, it's this one right here. All done. Now we can start laying the glue. I already cleaned it out like I said before. Makes us nice and ready to lay it in now. So really what you're going to want to do is just get a bunch of this stuff in your hand. It does take a lot. So just get a bunch and then go ahead and cut it. Put that aside. Peel it off. It really doesn't matter, like I said. It can hit your clothes, it can hit your body, it can hit like the table. This stuff is really, really nice. You can hit everything. It's not going to stick to it really well. It really just like fills gaps. So when you compress the lens onto the actual housing, it just mushes around and fills all the gaps. So you don't want to stretch this out too thin. You want to lay it in there just as thick as it is, because you know the more you got, the more it'll press in those nooks and crannies. So just start anywhere and work your way around. Alrighty, glue's all in, still looking clean. It's time to put the lens on. Go ahead and double check everything, that everything's clean. I got this brush right here. I'm just gonna brush off any dusties or, you know, little hairs that I see, because we're not gonna be able to get back in there. So dust everything off, make sure it's looking the best it can be. You know, prep is key. Now we can go ahead and get the lens ready. Where'd I put it? This is it. Got the lens right here. And I'm going to go ahead and heat up this entire thing. All the glue on the outside, so it smushes together nicely. You want to be quick with it. Make sure everything is lining up. Make sure your blinker bulb goes in. Everything's still lining up. Now you are going to have to put some pressure because the glue's trying to make it not accept it. You don't want to clip everything right away. Just work everything evenly. What you can also use is pliers like these. These are literally like what he sells on his website. It's just, they're clips, but this basically does the same thing. And you can just pull on each corner. You don't have to worry about it scratching the bottom of the headlight because you don't see any of this. This all gets hidden by the bumper. So just work your areas. You'll start to see it oozing out. And then I went ahead and threw this screw in down here and I'm slowly tightening it. Got our first clip to pop in. Second clip. And there you have it. This headlight's completely done. And I really like the look of that, I guess like that eyeliner look over there, that winged look. Looks pretty poppin'. I can't throw these in the car today because this rusty headlight I have, this is the reason, I don't know how many times I said this in this video, but this is the reason I'm doing these headlights over again, because I got condensation in this headlight and it did this to it. All the rust ruined everything, the ballast underneath, and the bulbs itself. So I ordered 2 brand new ballasts and 2 brand new HID bulbs. So that should be pretty poppin'. That's gonna be a nice cherry on top of these headlights. But yeah, these are looking awesome. Yeah, it's been a long day. It's like 11 o'clock at night right now, and I started at like 9 in the morning. So, but it was definitely worth it. You know, these are gonna look awesome. I don't even wanna put them on the car because the car looks like crap right now, and it's gonna look like putting lipstick on a pig. It's not gonna make the car look any better, I'll tell you that, but I'm just hyped that they're done. Look at them. Those things are popping. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get that one done tonight, but I'm gonna end the video right here. Thank you guys for watching. I actually had fun doing those. This was supposed to be more of a tutorial to tell people how to do an E92 headlight retrofit with Bavgruppe products. If you guys thought it helped you, please give a like, you know, comment if there was anything I could have fixed, or if you have any questions, something that I didn't add. If you're having trouble, message me. I always get back to my messages within the day. So definitely, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them. Please give me a subscribe. It helps a lot. I want to see my numbers grow. I want to get out there, you know, guys. So again, thank you guys for watching. This camera's flying all over the place because I'm tired. I'm ready to go to the bed, but still got that one to do. So yay me. Came out awesome. All right, now I'm just stalling. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next one. Peace out.